Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to week 5 of Reclaim Your Life Force. I'm Lynn, and I'm so grateful you're here with me today. If this is your first time joining us, this is a 12-week journey we're taking together to understand why so many women in midlife feel utterly depleted, and more importantly, how to restore that deep, sustainable energy that is your birthright. So, like I said, this is week 5. If you haven't had a chance, go back to my channel and watch weeks 1 through 4 if that works for you. So, today we're diving into something that affects millions of women, but is rarely talked about in the way I'm going to share it with you. We're talking about estrogen dominance, but not in a clinical, cold way you might have heard it described before, where you don't understand half the things they're talking about. And does that even apply to you? We're going to explore how your beautiful years of caretaking and service have created a very specific hormonal signature in your body. And I want to be clear from the beginning, this is not your fault. Your body has been trying to keep you safe and functional while you poured yourself out for everyone else. What I'm going to share with you today bridges 30 years of functional medicine with the ancient wisdom of traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, and even medical astrology. Because your hormones don't exist in isolation. They're part of the deeper story of who you are and how you've been living. So grab something warm to drink, settle in, and let's decode what your body has been trying to tell you. First, let's clear up what estrogen dominance actually is. Because most women I work with have been told they have too much estrogen, and that's not usually the whole truth. Estrogen dominance is about ratio, not absolute amounts. It means your estrogen is high relative to your progesterone. You could have normal estrogen levels or even low estrogen levels. But if your progesterone has crashed, which happens constantly in chronically stressed, depleted women, you end up estrogen dominant by comparison. Think of it like this. Imagine estrogen as the accelerator in your car and progesterone as the brakes. Both are essential. But when you've lost your brakes, when progesterone is depleted, even normal acceleration feels overwhelming and out of control. Signs you might recognize are you might have heavy or irregular periods, bloating that seems to come out of nowhere, breast tenderness, mood swings that feel bigger than the situation calls for, that exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, brain fog, weight gain around your middle that wasn't there before. And here's what I want you to understand. These aren't signs that you're broken. They're signs that your body has been working incredibly hard to keep you functional while running on empty. Your symptoms are actually your body's intelligence trying to get your attention. Now, here's the piece that most hormone conversations completely miss: the profound connection between caretaking and progesterone loss. When you've been in a sustained state of hypervigilance, managing everyone else's needs, carrying the emotional load of your family or workplace, never fully exhaling because someone always needs something, your body runs on cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and it's not evil. It's what kept you going through all those years when going wasn't optional. But here's what happens. To make cortisol, your body needs raw materials. And the primary raw material is something called pregnenolone. Pregnenolone is like the mother hormone. It can become several different hormones depending on what your body needs most urgently. And when you're chronically stressed, your body says, we need cortisol to survive. So it steals the pregnenolone that would have become progesterone. This is called the pregnenolone steal. And it's why so many caring, giving women find themselves with crashed progesterone levels. Your body literally chose survival over restoration, stress response over reproductive hormones. From a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, this makes perfect sense. The liver in traditional Chinese medicine governs the smooth flow of qi, your life force energy. And it's also the organ that processes emotions, particularly unexpressed anger and resentment. When you give and give but can't receive, when you hold everyone else's emotions but have nowhere to put your own, the liver becomes stagnant. And a stagnant liver cannot properly metabolize hormones. The energy gets stuck. The blood becomes sluggish and symptoms accumulate. Ayurveda sees this as compromised agni, your digestive fire. When you're depleted, you can't properly process and eliminate what you take in, including hormones. Everything becomes congested, heavy. And astrologically, this often shows up as challenging Jupiter transits. Jupiter rules the liver, or stress to Venus, which governs our feminine hormones and our capacity to receive. But here's what I want you to hear. Your body made the right choice. It prioritized keeping you alive and functional over ideal hormonal balance because that's what the situation demanded. You are not broken. You've been incredibly resilient. Now, let's talk about why your liver and gut health are absolutely critical for hormonal balance. Because this is where modern science and ancient wisdom converge beautifully. Here's how hormone clearance is supposed to work. Your liver takes used estrogen, packages it up for elimination through a process called conjugation, and sends it into your bile. That bile carries the tagged estrogen into your small intestine, where it should be eliminated through your bowel movements. But here's where things go sideways for so many women. When your gut microbiome is out of balance from stress, antibiotics, poor diet, or just the natural changes of perimenopause, certain bacteria produce an enzyme called beta-glucuronidase. This enzyme is like a little pair of scissors that cuts the elimination tag off the estrogen, allowing it to be reabsorbed back into your bloodstream instead of leaving your body. So estrogen that should have been eliminated comes back for another loop and another and another. This is called enterohepatic recirculation, and it's a major driver of estrogen dominance. This is why constipation isn't just uncomfortable for hormonally imbalanced women. It's a significant contributor to the problem. Every day that estrogen sits in your digestive tract is another opportunity for reabsorption. From a TCM, traditional Chinese medicine perspective, This is liver qi stagnation, manifesting in the digestive system. From an Ayurvedic lens, it's weak agni, creating ama, toxic accumulation. Both traditions understood thousands of years ago what we now see in the biochemistry. Signs your liver gut highway needs support: chronic constipation, bloating after meals, especially fatty ones, poor alcohol tolerance, skin issues like hormonal acne, maybe a history of gallbladder problems. All right, let's get practical. Supporting your liver doesn't require expensive supplements or extreme cleanses. In fact, for depleted women, aggressive detox can backfire and stress your system even more. What your liver needs is gentle, consistent, daily support. So first, let's talk about castor oil packs. This is one of my favorite tools from traditional naturopathy. You apply castor oil over your liver area, right side under your ribs, cover it with a cloth and a heat source, such as a hot water bottle or a heating pad, and rest for about 30 to 45 minutes. This increases lymphatic circulation. This supports bile flow, and it gives your liver a gentle boost. I recommend this 2 to 3 times per week, ideally in the evening when you can rest afterward. Warm lemon water first thing in the morning is another simple practice. The warmth stimulates bile production. The bitterness from the lemon supports liver function, and it's a gentle way to wake up your digestive system. Dandelion root tea is like a love letter to your liver. It's a bitter herb that supports both phases of liver detoxification and encourages healthy bile flow. You can find it at any health food store, and it's incredibly gentle. And milk thistle is the queen of liver herbs. The active compound silymarin actually helps regenerate liver cells and protects them from damage during the detox process. This is one supplement I do recommend for most women with hormone imbalances. And here's something crucial: adequate protein. Phase 2 liver detoxification is heavily protein dependent, but so many depleted women are under eating protein because they're too tired to cook, or they're trying to eat later because they feel so heavy and congested. So aim for 20 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. Your liver literally cannot clear hormones efficiently without it. Then there's B vitamins, particularly B6, B12, and folate. These are essential cofactors for methylation, which is a critical pathway for estrogen clearance. Most women benefit from a good quality B complex. And magnesium glycinate before bed supports liver detox enzymes while also calming your nervous system, which reduces the cortisol burden that started this whole cascade in the first place. Finally, sleep before midnight. In traditional Chinese medicine, the liver's peak restoration window is 1 to 3 a.m., and modern chronobiology confirms this. Your liver does its deepest repair work in the early morning hours. Your plate is one of your most powerful daily interventions for hormone balance. And I'm going to share foods that aren't exotic or expensive. They're everyday foods with profound hormonal intelligence. First, the cruciferous family: broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, arugula. These contain a compound called indole 3-carbinol, which converts in your gut to DIM, which is diindol methane. DIM helps shift estrogen metabolism toward the safer pathways and away from the more problematic metabolites. So aim for 1 to 2 cups daily, lightly cooked, to preserve the beneficial enzymes while making them easier to digest. Ground flaxseed is one of the richest sources of lignans. These are plant compounds that act like gentle modulators for your estrogen system. They help when estrogen is too high and support when it's too low. So 1 to 2 tablespoons daily, and try to grind it fresh. You can do this where you put the whole flax seeds into a coffee grinder and just grind away. High fiber foods are your direct answer to that enterohepatic recirculation problem I talked about earlier. Soluble fiber binds to the conjugated estrogen in your digestive tract, preventing those bacterial enzymes from reactivating it. So aim for 35 or more grams of fiber daily from whole food sources. Bitter greens, arugula, dandelion greens, radicchio, endive stimulate bile flow and liver activity. Both TCM and Ayurveda consider bitter foods essential for liver health. They've just been bred out of our modern diet in favor of sweeter varieties. Berries, especially blueberries and pomegranate, support phase 1 detoxification and protect your liver cells from oxidative stress. Pomegranate in particular helps modulate aromatase. This is the enzyme that converts other hormones to estrogen, which becomes more active after menopause. Now, foods to minimize: alcohol dramatically impairs estrogen clearance. Conventionally raised meat and dairy can carry hormone disrupting compounds. Refined sugars promote gut dysbiosis and reduce exposure to plastics and xenoestrogens. So filter your water, use glass storage, and minimize canned foods. Beautiful soul, I want you to understand something profound. Estrogen dominance is not a character flaw. It's not the consequence of doing something wrong. It is, in many cases, the biological cost of loving and serving beyond your sustainable capacity. Your body has been working so hard to keep you functional while you took care of everyone else. The symptoms you're experiencing aren't signs of failure. They're signs of a system that's been incredibly resilient, but is now asking for support. The ancient healing traditions understood this. Traditional Chinese medicine knew the liver holds the story of women's unexpressed emotions and overextended service. Ayurveda knew that the woman who cannot receive will eventually run dry. And medical astrology maps the exact moments when the body demands a reckoning with these patterns. And modern functional medicine gives us the biochemical language to understand exactly what's happening in your cells. Together, these approaches offer something powerful, not just symptom relief, but a genuine return to yourself. If what I've shared today resonates with you, your next step is to understand which specific exhaustion pattern is driving your experience. Because estrogen dominance shows up differently depending on your constitution, your history, and your unique life force blueprint. I've created a free energy alchemy quiz that helps you identify your pattern, whether you're a hormonal hurricane, a somatic storer, dealing with a constitutional mismatch, or navigating transitional transformation. The link is in the description below. And if you're ready to work through the complete restoration process with personalized guidance, I invite you to learn more about my Life Force Reclamation program. This is my signature journey. It's a membership journey where we address your exhaustion from every angle. Functional medicine testing, constitutional assessment, and the deep soul work that's often missing from hormone protocols. So I'll be back next week with week 6, where we're diving into blood sugar chaos, another piece of the exhaustion puzzle that's often misunderstood. Until then, remember, rest is not a reward, it's medicine. And you, dear one, deserve to feel vibrantly alive in your own body. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your beautiful heart and all the ways you've served others. And thank you for finally being ready to serve yourself. I'll see you next week.